What is up, RZ Jones 18 fans? Welcome back to Powers of Grayskull number 6, I believe. Um, so I talked about in a video that is currently up on the channel my top 10 favorite figures of last year. Not a lot of Motu. Figures that are in there are no longer in the collection. I still regard them as my favorite figures of the year. I do regret not putting the Trap Jaw from Masterverse in there, but I want to retrofect that. I want to make this better. And so, my favorite figure of the year I still have. Mezco Batman's Never Leaving. But a lot of my figures, my top two, were both Transformers. It was Armada, Commander Prime, and Missing Link Prime. I don't have them anymore. I sold them today. I watched a video of these guys on YouTube, and they talked about how as a collector, don't feel like you're getting into a hole. Like you feel like you're doing too many collections all at once. Like you feel like you're like overbearing yourself, and I don't want that. Going into my new year, going into the move, I don't want that for myself. I want to be as precise in what I collect. And with that in mind, I am not collecting anything else. I'm not collecting Marvel Legends. I'm not collecting Black Series anymore. There are only two specific lines that I will be collecting moving forward. Lego is going to be what I call event collecting. I'll be doing that as a big event thing. Like, say my mom and my little sister will want to do something later down the line and we'll build it together. That's what that will be entailing for. I'm not really going to collect Lego anymore. I love Lego, but it just takes up too much room, and I want to make sure I have room to facilitate my two favorite lines, which is Blockies, Transformers, and Masters of the Universe. Now, Masters of the Universe, I am leaving abroad. This includes Vintage, 2000X, Classics, Mega Constructs, and Mondo. Those 5 lines, and Origins. Why did I forget Origins? All of Motu basically, and crossover stuff as well. We'll talk about that. All of that in that brand is on my table, and that's a lot to collect. It's a broad way of staying within the characters that I love, which is so crazy because like I don't have a movie to really go off of. I just have a bunch of cartoons that I absolutely adore now. I go back and watch the He-Man She-Ra movie special about once a month now. I try to anyway. I love that special so much. And I didn't really talk about this, but back in October, obviously I talked about it a little bit. I went to my first toy convention, and only one thing was kept during that from that entire haul to that. I got rid of the sound wave and the shock wave, and I only kept one thing, and I never showed it off on camera yet, but that's not till today. Today, I am going to go over all my pickups that I've currently made within the past 3 to 4 months, revolving Masters, and my shelving is now just strictly Masters. This middle shelf right here, the one I'm pointing at, where they used to be, now has my MetaQuest and stuff. This is all temporary, obviously, till the move. But I wanted it to look nicer, look a little bit more neat. I reorganized my figures. It looks so much better. And we have a goal for this year. We have a goal really going into March. We have a goal going into March of this year that I would love to accomplish before I move. And we will talk about that as well. So to get into this, I first want to start off with this dude. So this is the Origins, let him shine here. This is the Origins Rock-On. Now, I love this thing, and I'm hoping that his friend gets the Origins treatment. I highly doubt he will, but there's hope for it. And with that in mind, I've owned this figure before, and I'm really glad I brought him back. This is Vintage Stondar, and to have these two together makes me so happy. Because again, I love the fact that Vintage is in the same scale as Origins. And so I got Stondar today from Toy Department, which I'm going to miss so much when I leave. That is probably one of the saddest things I'm losing, besides not being here with my dad. It's one of the saddest things I'm losing is losing that store. I mean, I have Comics and Games, which is a great a new addition and new area to go to. I know there's some places in Kentucky that I can go to that I haven't really checked out yet, but I'm going to miss Toy Department a lot. I know I can come down and visit, obviously. I'm going to come down and visit. But needless to say, I got Stone Dar. So now my Stone Warriors currently, we're missing one, and I think she's part of the Princess of Power line. I forget her name, but we're missing one, but now I have the two. So now they are on the shelf together. This is a big one. I'm saving the other two and the other stuff for last. I've been talking about in Origins, there have been like I can almost call them the Four Horsemen of the figures I've been trying to find and collect. That is Orko, which is no longer the case. I am missing Spikor. I am, well, actually, one of them is coming. And then I have the other one here because of the way I did it. So really, I'm only missing one now, technically. That's crazy. My Four Horsemen's almost done. But here's one of them. I've been talking about this figure for a while. Origins Whiplash. Finally. So, funny story with this one. So I went to Toy Department the day I got Power Baser, the day I got Power Baser Prime after I sold all my other Transformers. And they had Whiplash there. And I was like, am I really collecting Motu still? Like, I'm happy with my collection. Am I still collecting? I'm an idiot. Just putting that out there. And so I didn't get him. And I left him on the peg. He was a loose. This is not a fresh off card figure. This is a loose figure. And I put him back on the shelf. And I was like, you know what? If he's still there, the next time I come back, I'm going to get him. And I did. I'm so glad that I did. This feels so good. Minus Spikor now. Spikor is the only evil warrior I am missing currently in the collection. Now, I know we have Keldor and some offshoot characters from Mattel Creations, but they really aren't a priority to me at all. My main priority was getting Whiplash and Spikor. Spikor is the last one. Too bad. Oh, too bad's the other Four Horsemen. I'm not getting the cartoon collection one. I refuse to get that. No. The only cartoon collection figure that ever has a shot of entering my collection will be Cringer. The collectorship, possibly, once I get the room again. I'm half tempted just to continuously buy like up these vehicles just to get stands and then give the vehicles to a friend or to somebody I know in that regard. But I got Whiplash, and he looks terrific. I think the tail works really nicely. He is really nice and sturdy. Like, all the joints feel really good on him. Some of my figures are getting really loose because I've had them for almost 4 years. I know certain ones that desperately need an upgrade, so I might end up getting new versions of those characters, and then my older ones will become parts. I've been doing part bins for this stuff. I'll be more organized once I get the room for it. But yeah, Whiplash. All right. So here's the first one. My biggest issue currently with Masters of the Universe regarding a team, a line within the brand is the Horde. I don't think they have treated the Horde correctly at all. I feel like in the first real half of Origins, we got Mantenna, the Horde Trooper, Hordak, Buzzsaw Hordak. We got Leech, we got Grizzlor. In various versions of Grizzlor, we got the one from the 4-pack from PowerCon. We've got the Creation exclusive one, which is the one that I have. And then we've also got Mosquitor. Now, Modulok is now out there. There's an Origins version of Modulok, but he is a pain in the butt to get, to be frank with you. And that's why I haven't got him yet. He was on Amazon first, blew out very quickly, then Big Bad Toy Store got him. They haven't really said, I know I've been seeing some things on Facebook and on Reddit that the pre-orders for Big Bad Toy Store orders, if you order them through there, are shipping. Good for you. But the one thing that they haven't really talked about yet is any other characters after Modulok. And I know Mattel is committed to completing and finishing the original 1980s toy line for Masters of the Universe. And including in that is some characters from the Horde, their lair, and, in my opinion, the coolest playset of any Masters of the Universe collection, the Slime Pit. How we have not gotten, because Mattel has constantly still been using slime via the Ninja Turtles. So it's not like Let's Playmates, but Mattel is still using their slime features in other things. I don't understand why the Slime Pit has not come out. I am hoping at Comic-Con in July this year we get the big reveal that the Fright Zone and Slime Pit are coming, and I hope that Pixel Dana is correct, that it's a combo pack. That you get that they found a way to combine the Slime Pit with the Fright Zone together. If that's the way to kind of facilitate the puppet gimmick, and that they couldn't really figure that out, so instead they make that like a full new like creature, and the Slime Pit's that attachment to give that kind of play value, I'd be fine with that. I know some purists would not be, but that's not what they're really going for. They're going for aesthetic and playability, not really to try to continuously replicate how they looked in the original toy line. I know they do really well aesthetically, but I don't want them to, like Sky Clones are an example for that. The original toy, his arms are super flappy so they can facilitate his rotating gimmick. I love the fact that you can pop his waist up and that's how you do the rotating gimmick. I would hope that with Slime Pit that they treat it the same way they've been treating that kind of stuff. Now, Slime Pit could also be a creations thing, and that would suck. But again, Masters unfortunately does not sell very well in store. That's just something we have to move on with. Certain things in Masters are selling really well, like the Turtle stuff is going to be selling really well because it's Ninja Turtles. And I don't think the new crossover coming out is going to sell particularly well, but that's just me, and that's the Thundercats one. Those figures look incredible. Beast Cat Man is brilliant. I hope we get a Panther Man, and he better be flocked. But I want the Horde to be more involved, and I took matters in my own hands. And so when I went to the toy department today, one of my goals was to get one of those figures, and I got them. However, this one was just staring out because I've never actually owned this in any form, and that would be Masters of the Universe Dragster. This figure's so freaking cool. So if you don't know who this is, he's got a giant wheel in the middle of his stomach. He stands so good. He's heavy, but he also has, where'd it go? I know I put it here somewhere. There it is. He comes with a ripcord. And what the ripcord is for is that you stick it from behind and, you push it through. And when you watch the wheel, now the cool thing also is that if you put his arms up and then you can lay him on the ground and do that, it'll, and you'll race off. And that's basically Dragster. And he comes with, I think, the original Motu, I believe, the only gray bowcaster or hordecaster. And so I don't think he needs anything else. His action feature speaks for himself. One of my favorite pickups of the year so far. I love this thing. Now, here's the one I just mentioned, and I think you barely saw him there for a second. I am not getting the Origins version of this character because they're basically the same. It's Modulok. So for the longest time, excuse my nose, every time. It's also allergy season. It's really cold here in Ohio, and so it's just, what are you going to do? But it's the same thing. The only difference is on the new one is that his elbows can bend. That don't bother me, honestly, with this figure. 24 parts altogether between everything that he comes with. And this thing is so weird, and I absolutely love it. This is one of the cool... I think the new one is overbearing. I think it comes with too many pieces for the sake of being, it's honestly what the keystone of what Origins is. You modulate, and that's his name. We also have Multibot at Toy Department. I would love to get Multibot and add him to him and create the monstrosities that people talk about, putting all their parts together. Plus, just to have a Multibot character on the shelf, And for me, he would be on the Evil Warrior shelf because he's a robot. I could totally see like a trap jaw contraption. This to me is a slime pit character. This is someone that they put in the slime pit, and this monstrosity came out. Um, his weapon is like the gummiest thing in the world, but it's also vintage Motu. So I'm not going to be that. I'm not even going to be mean. It's just what it is. But the gun looks really cool. It can split. It's modular, like the guy who wields it. And again, I mean, like it's modular. You can rip them apart, take its head off, take its heads off. It for a figure that came out towards the later half of the line, it's still crazy how much that this figure still holds up to this day. And he's quite big. I mean, compared to like your Stone Dar, he's pretty sizable. And like if you can, figure out a way to like maneuver his body and like get him like properly standing upwards, he's pretty tall too if you want to do it that way. But yeah, Modulok finally in the collection. My horde for the time being, because I need to look through some wikis and stuff, and let me know in the comment section below. I now have Mantenna, 2 Horde Troopers, Mosquitoer, Grizzlor, Leech, Hordak, obviously, and now Dragster and Modulok. I know the Horde Prime figure is out there. I am waiting to see whether or not Toy Department gets him, and if they don't, then I'll end up getting him from Big Bad Toy Store and just succumbing to that and getting it, because I would love to have a 3rd Horde Trooper to kind of lead my team. Plus you get the little Horde bot. So, it's a thing if it happens. If it happens, it happens. I'm not going to be that upset about it. Now, the other big thing is vehicles. I own, minus Night Stalker now, I own every single, and the collector. But the collector's part of the cartoon collection. What I'm specifically talking about is just Origins, not the cartoon collection part of it. So when I look at just Origins, the only vehicle I'm missing currently now is Night Stalker. The Eternia vehicles are part of Eternia. That's a thing. Just vehicles you can buy in the store through Creations. Night Stalker's the only one I'm missing. And I love Stridor. Legit, I love that. I love that creature, vehicle, whatever you want to call him. But not $30. Love him, buying him through Creations, because it's just the same horse again. So I wanted to differentiate my 2 horses, and that's exactly what I did. And plus, this one was $5 cheaper, and I'll take it. Vintage Night Stalker is now in the collection, and he's just a piece of plastic, but it makes me happy. He looks so good, and there's nothing really else to him. He's just a purple and black version of Stridor, and he doesn't move. He is just a hollow on the inside, hollow on the downside thing, and I love it. I love the fact that the stickers look worn. That makes them feel old. That makes them feel rustic. Like the gold's kind of more like a copper color that's kind of rusted onto him. He looks dead almost, which feels really good for my collection. And so Night Stalker is finally a part of it, and I got him in a way where he feels different from my Stridor that I have in the collection. So very happy with that. So now let's get on to these 2. So one of these I bought at a toy convention, and one of these I bought today at Toy Department. And the reason and I bet you're gonna ask, why do you have 2 of these now? Now I have 3 sleds, but why did I buy 2 of them? Because one of mine is very broken for a feature, and one is not. The one that is broken I got from the Ohio Toy Show back in October, and I'll show him off just to show off what it is. It is the Battle Ram. So if you don't know what this is one of the main vehicles that came out early in the line back in '84, and it's a tour because it's not just the Battle Ram, it is also, this is where the Sky Sled comes from. And now I have 3. I have the Origin Sky Sled and 2 Vintage Sky Sleds. And I think that is pretty cool. why there's not an Origins version of the Battle Ram, because the clips are on the Sky Sled. We know they can do it. Why they haven't, I genuinely have no idea. And so, hang on. I'm going to hold this and Modulock for a thumbnail. So, bear with me, folks. All right. Because it'll be part of a picture that'll come out of this recording after I'm done. And, but yeah. But as you can clearly see, because I can fire, yeah, I can fire this one. You pull back here on the trigger. Oh, is it forward or back? Hang on. It's forward. Okay. So you pull forward on the trigger, and this is supposed to fire, and it doesn't. Now, I don't get the face on this thing, like, at all. But that's just a me thing. I think that's weird looking. But hey. But yeah, you just load it in, it clicks into place, and it's supposed to fire. I think the spring's broken in this one. However, not on this one, and boy oh boy does it fire. There we go. Just to compare, just to compare the two Sky Sleds from each of them, this is the toy show version. This is the toy department one. You can clearly see which one was played with more, because the stickers on the toy department one, while over here on this side is peeling off just a little bit. The control panel is still intact. The stickers on the side still look pretty nice. Whereas on this side, you can clearly tell this one was able to play with a little bit more. But I think the stickers look a little bit better on the side on this one. And then when you look at, I believe, at the toy department version of the Battle Ram that I got, the stickers look really nice. They look flat. They don't look like they were really messed with. And there's a little rip here on this one. But then when I get over to the toy show version, ripped up stickers, doesn't look great. I kind of want to put this and this through like a power wash when I get to Kentucky, wipe off these stickers and see how much it would cost to get repo labels for these, just to make them look a little bit nicer, and put this through the ringer. So we're gonna match up. Okay. Match up that with that. But yeah, those are all the Motu figures I've recently acquired in the past couple of months, and I'm so happy. But we have a goal here, ladies and gentlemen, and even though Xbox was like, hey, let's have a fun time with that's Pixel Dan on the background, by the way. Let's have a fun time and put out a game that you weren't expecting to buy and play today. Go figure. Ninja Gaiden 2 Black came out today. Shadow dropped from the Xbox Direct. So good so far. So good. And so, but I have a goal. I want to get Eternia before I leave. I feel like if I get Eternia, then I will be I'm going to be more picky anyway when I move, but I want to get Eternia. I want to get Eternia before the move. Either that be something I do on the way out of Ohio, or the last week I'm here, I buy and I leave here in the house or something. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. But my goal here is to not spend really any more money on figures and start putting away from each check, which I can do, $200 from each check every 2 weeks. So from this new check coming in 2 weeks, take 200 from that, take 200 from that, take 200 from the next one, and then take 200 from the last one, put that all together, and then go get it. That's the plan. I want to do it. I'm working overtime every week now, going into the rest of my time here at Jungle Gyms to build up some extra cash going into moving, but a big piece for this collection to where I'll feel so satisfied with it really is Eternia. Eternia is the last big thing I need, and they've got a sealed. Is it probably is it? I don't know if it's sealed or not, but they've got a brand spanking new one ready to go at Toy Department, as much as brand spanking new can be, and it's my goal. My goal is every 2 weeks to put $200 away that I don't touch. I don't spend anything else. Because my next big game now is until May, and that's Doom. So I don't have to worry about that anymore now either. I have like the timeline, and I'll be working by then, so I'll be able to get it anyway. But that is the goal. Eternia is our goal. So the road to Eternia begins. I will give you guys daily check-ins on how that's going, and I know I talked about it in the top 10 video, but I'll also say it here. The next time you'll see me doing anything this related will be probably in April when I move to my mom's. And my goal is to do a giant unboxing and assembly live stream of building out the Motu area of my room. I want to show you guys how it's going. The table we're currently sitting on will no longer be the reviewing station, gaming station, D&D station. This will be the home of Eternia, and I gotta let that sink in. It'll be the most expensive piece of figure I've ever bought. It'll be the most expensive toy I've ever bought, and it's worth it. It really is. I'm gonna be committed to this. I want to get to March and show myself that I did it, that I did it. I got it. And it'll be a big accomplishment for me. It'd be like buying a new console all over again. Like, this is, of any toy goal I've ever set for myself, this is the one. And I'm going to do it. I am going to do it. I am going to get Eternia in March. It's so weird saying that out of my mouth, but I'm not missing this again. And other places have it, and I know I can buy it off eBay, but it's there. It is just easy to just go, get it, and be done. I think that would be such a poetic way to end going to Toy Department so often. Is my last real big purchase being Eternia. So that's the goal. Is Eternia will be my final purchase at Toy Department, and so they won't see me till then when I get it. I'm so happy with everything I got. The only exception, the only exception to this rule is I have Rio Blast coming. I got the Origins Rio Blast because I really wanted him, and it's the one I was nervous I wouldn't be able to get, but I got him. I pre-ordered. He's done. I bought him. He's shipping as we speak. So Rio Blast is coming. So he'll be the last Origins standalone figure that'll be part of this little charade, and you won't see him till after the move. I won't be showing him off until after the move. That'll be like a me thing. It still really hasn't sinking in that I'm leaving in almost 2 months. Really hasn't. But it is. It's happening. And I did some condensing today. I threw away some stuff. I got rid of some stuff that I don't need anymore. And I'm also condensing my collecting. Everything you see on this shelf right here and everything on these two shelves are pretty much what are the collectibles that are coming with me to my mom's. That's it. There are some exceptions in the closets that'll be coming as well, but I have to figure out the best way to move those pieces. Two pieces 3 pieces I know what I'm going to do with, but 3 other pieces I have to figure out about moving them because of how big they are and how fragile they are. So again, updates will come as they come, and I will let you guys know when that happens. But until then, like, rate, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Hit that comment section. Let me know of any other Horde villains I'm missing. I know I'm obviously missing their version of the sorceress. What's her name? Why is that not breaching my brain? I talked about her earlier. Shadow Weaver. I know Shadow Weaver has not been put out. I think Super 7 did one, maybe. But I know regular Masters didn't put one out in this scale, and I know Origins hasn't put her out yet. Maybe Cartoon Collection will fix that. Only a Cartoon Collection figure I'm actively looking at right now is Catra. It's the only one. Because I want to add her to my Horde. Everybody else right now, But again, let me know in the comment section below what Horde members I'm actually missing, so I can kind of get like that. I can start making my checklist again for the move afterwards. But yeah, guys, that is Power Grayskull number, I believe 7. We'll say 7. I'll say 7 right now, and then you look at the title and go, no, it's no Ray. Obviously, it was number 6. You will find out when you look at the title. Until then, guys, may the power protect you, and I'll see y'all later. Bye, y'all.